Hi, are you ready to read about living and non-living in the ocean? Let's read it together. Ready? This is a non-fiction book. I know it's non-fiction because there's a table of contents, and if you look at my pictures, they are of real things that are in the ocean. Isn't that cool? All right. What is an ocean? An ocean is a very large body of water. Oceans are full of salt water. Different types of plants and animals live in the oceans. There are non-living things in the oceans too. What are living things? Living things are alive. Living things need air and sunlight. Living things move on their own. Living things need food and water. Living things grow and change. What are non-living things? Non-living things are not alive. Non-living things do not need air and sunlight. Non-living things do not need food or water. Non-living things do not move on their own. Non-living things do not grow and change on their own. Is a lobster living or non-living? A lobster needs food and water. A lobster moves on its own. So what do you think? Is a lobster living or non-living? What do you think? A lobster grows and changes. A lobster needs air and sunlight. A lobster is living. You got that right. Is a rock living or non-living? A rock does not need food or water. A rock does not move on its own. A rock does not grow and change on its own. A rock does not need air or sunlight. Is a rock living or non-living? A rock is non-living. Did you get that one? Is a fish living or non-living? A fish grows and changes. A fish needs food and water. A fish moves on its own. A fish needs sunlight. Is it living or non-living? A fish is living. Is sand living or non-living? Sand does not move on its own. Sand does not need food or water. Sand does not grow on its own. Sand does not need air or sunlight. Sand is non-living. Is a dolphin living or non-living? A dolphin grows and changes. A dolphin needs food and water. A dolphin moves on its own. A dolphin needs air and sunlight. A dolphin is living. Is seaweed living or non-living? Seaweed moves on its own towards the sun. Seaweed gets food from the sun. Seaweed grows and changes. Seaweed needs air and sunlight. Seaweed is living. What do you think? Is an iceberg living or non-living? Think about that. It's a big thing of ice. Does it need food and water? Does it grow and change on its own? What do you think? Here's the other part that shows me it's a nonfiction. A glossary. It tells me the definitions of these words. And then on the end, it tells me some other things I could look for, and it tells me the index where I can find things in my book. That's how I know it's nonfiction, full of facts and real pictures to help me. I hope you enjoyed my book about the ocean.